So guys, we are on the GS road, and this is a moment that I want to record and capture because I am right now, the odometer reads 9999, that means 9,999 kilometers, and I'm going to complete 10,000 kilometers, and this is 12th of October, and exactly 1 year and 6 months back on 12th of April 2024, I bought this Kushaq of mine, which is 1.5 liter manual transmission, and this video tells you about how it has been the experience of owning this Kushaq over a period of 1.5 years and driving it over 10,000 kilometers. And as you can see in the odometer, I hope it is clear. So about to complete 10,000 kilometers, and I'm driving on the GS road, and guys, I can bet you this is one of the best route that I love driving because this is a hilly terrain. This is 10,000 kilometers completed, 10,000 kilometers on the on Kushaq, my ivory Tusker, which is and so far the experience has been very good. So yes, this is 10,000 kilometers, and I'm very happy that I completed it on the run and on my favorite road, that is the GS road, which is you have got nice mild curves, and that makes you drive very nicely. It tests your driving skills, and I'm absolutely in love with it, the GS road. I do not like driving on state roads, state highways or state expressways, whatever it may be. So boring. And GS road is, and I'm happy that I've completed 10,000 kilometers on it. So for rest of the video, wherein I explain my experience of owning this beast for 10,000 kilometers on the road, please stay tuned. Jai Hind, dosto. So welcome back to the channel. This is Eddie Roy from Shillong. Yeah. So on 12th of October 2025, my Škoda Kushaq finally completed the 10,000 kilometer milestone, and coincidentally it also marked the exactly 1 year and 6 months of my ownership of Kushaq. As you all know, I own a Kushaq 1.5 manual transmission. You won't get a manual transmission anymore in 1.5. You'll get a DSG. So this is one of the rare kind that I'm owning. Okay, I'm so proud of that. So here is my ownership experience of 1.5 year and 10,000 kilometers milestone, and honest review from an owner. Here we go. But before that, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so. Otherwise, you'll miss out many interesting videos, especially on cars. So guys, in today's video, I'm sharing my honest long-term ownership review, what I have loved, what I have not, and whether the Kushaq still feels worth buying in 2025. So let's get started. Let's talk positives. What I loved about the Kushaq. Number one, driving dynamics and performance. The Kushaq still feels absolutely solid and confident and inspiring. The driving dynamics are spot on. It hugs the curves beautifully with very minimal body roll. The steering feedback is precise and gives you that connected feel with the road. Number two, engine power. The 1.5 TSI is an absolute gem. Refined, punchy, and powerful when needed. On the highways, it's so easy to overtake slower moving vehicles, even on hilly terrains. As you know, I live in Shillong. It's a hill city. The Kushaq pulls effortlessly without breaking a sweat. Caution. For city drives, not the best car you consider in chock-a-block traffic. It being a TSI engine, which is a direct injection engine, turbocharged. That applies to every turbocharged, or especially the direct injection engine vehicles, right? Number three, comfort and sitting. The sitting position is commanding and comfortable. I mean, it's not that high like what you get in Elevate or maybe Seltos, blah, 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 but still it's adequate enough. The contoured seats offer great supports, and though realistically best for 4 adults, the ventilated seats are a blessing in hot weather, and the electric seat adjustments for the front adds that premium feel, surely. Number 4, mileage. If driven light-footed, it does return a decent mileage, especially on open highways. It's about smooth throttle. If you are climbing up the steep slopes, then the mileage drastically reduces. And if you are not very conscious about the throttle you are putting on, then you will get a very poor mileage. So only recently, one day back, I drove down to Guwahati, which is 4,000 feet below Shillong, and I got a mileage of 18 kilometer per liter. And mind you, I am not a sedan driver. I do push the engine whenever I get a chance. But on my way back to Shillong, with full load, 5 on the board, including me, dicky is fully loaded, I got a mileage of 11 kilometers per liter. And I call it decent mileage, like all other turbo petrol GDI engines. Exterior looks and interior feel. Okay, I love the classy European styling. This is German DNA, man. The Kushaq looks solid and stylish and elegant. And looks sexy. Yep. Its look is something like which will age gradually. And even after 10 years, it will still hold its charm. Remember Polo, Volkswagen Polo? I still turn my head when I look at Polo on the road. I guess the same thing will happen with Kushaq. In the interiors, it has clean, functional and premium interiors. Very stylish, classy. Something Skoda has been known for. The moment you are sitting inside, you feel that you are sitting in a classic car. After all, it is a Volkswagen group and a sister of Audi and Volkswagen cars. Sound quality. I love the music system on my style variant. This is the topmost variant, and it has got 4 speakers, 2 tweeters and 1 subwoofer. So it's got a premium sound. This is a decent, very good sound quality. It's not that good, but quite good. I love music, and I love to have a good music on my car, especially when I'm driving on the highways. And another one is the 5-star safety quality. That gives me the confidence to take my family out when on the highways and at a higher speed. So these are the positives. Now let's talk about the negatives, if at all there are any. Yes, there are. This could have been better. It is not a negative. That these are things that Skoda could have done better, I guess. Okay. Number 1 is AC performance. The AC is not as powerful as it should be. Okay, especially during the peak summer months. And thank God I'm live in Shillong, and in the summer side live in Shillong. So I don't need much AC, but for you guys and for general people, I say that AC feels little slower than what it should have been, and its competitors offer. Plus, the absence of the rotary dials or the manual controls for the temperature and the blower control is something which is missing here, and I urge upon Skoda to provide this thing, the manual control of the temperature control and the blower control in their updates which they are planning to bring out in 2026. Power windows. Now the rolling sound of the windows panes are while going up and down can get quite irritating. I really wonder why it happens. Okay, I am living with it. It's not a deal breaker, but something Skoda should have ironed it out. Then the rear view camera quality, that's is very poor, especially in low light, and it doesn't have a dynamic guiding lights. So I hope with the updated Kushaq, which is due in 2026 first quarter, they will provide relief to the customers and provide not only a rear view camera but also a 360-degree camera. That is what the rumors are all about in the market. I hope they are. So this is one of the cons. The non-adjustable seat belts, height is not adjustable, can be uncomfortable for shorter persons, drivers like me, because we tend to drive, a little bit closer to the steering, so it gives a stress on my shoulder. I urge upon the Skoda company to provide a adjustable seat belt in their updated Kushaq due for 2026 release. Then the horn sound is weak, it's weak. Doesn't match the character of such a powerful car. Then there's a little blind spot, which is created because of the placement of the ORDM. Very little gap is there. In fact, there is no gap. If you are sitting here like this and looking at this, then you can't see through the gap. So I guess the Skoda company should look into the positioning of the mirror so that the blind spot created is lessened. Like I said, the 360-degree camera was missing, so which should be super helpful for tight parking if you are considering it in the updated Kushaq due for 2026 release. The city fuel economy is not good, it being a GDI turbo petrol engine. So like any other cars of the same engine, having same engine, it's not good for city chock-a-block traffic. So it's not a negative, but it's an issue. What are the things that we look forward to the company when they go for the update of the Kushaq, which is scheduled for 2026 release? Number one that we do not want, I do not want, is that do not provide any panoramic sunroof. It's of no use, except if in an unfortunate accident case where the doors are stuck, so the sunroof can provide an escape route. That is the only purpose that can serve in India. Otherwise, sunroofs are not for India. It's useless. I live in Shillong. It's a hill city. Its temperatures are pretty much cooler. But I have got a small single pane sunroof here in this particular 2024 model style variant. But I hardly use it. I use it only when I am recording a video, keeping the shade open so that I can get a little better light. So please don't give that, okay? But please provide a 360-degree camera and rotary dials for the AC, and nothing much. And don't provide a connected DRL in the front. In the rear, maybe to some extent is acceptable. Don't make it, don't follow the herd. Don't follow the herd. It looks horrible. So this is my personal opinion. So if you agree with my opinion, kindly put in your observation in the comments. So this is my long-term honest experience about Škoda Kushaq ownership, having clocked 10,000 kilometers. If you like this video, like it and share with your friends and family, and also please do subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed to my channel so far. Thank you. Bye bye. Love you. Signing off, editor from Shillong.